Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with the another aftermath. We just had UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopez 2, and we're gonna be going through kind of the results of the fight and then kind of just saying who we would match up next for them. We'll start with the main event of the evening. As you can see over here, Volkanovski successfully retains his title against his first defense since regaining the title against Diego Lopez. I'm going to be honest here, Volkanovski dominated. I didn't give Diego Lopez a single round. There was a round that I thought was very close. I think it was round 2. But generally, I thought Volk just kind of had his way. And this is one of the reasons I did not want Diego Lopez versus Volkanovski 2. I think you could have had Diego Lopez versus Yuri Rodriguez on this card, and they have beef with each other. You could have built that, and then potentially, after Volk has another title fight, put Diego there. I think the UFC generally fuck Diego right now because if Volk keeps, as long as Volk has that belt around him, Diego is iced out. He is not going to get another shot. They absolutely fucked him, in my opinion, by giving him this opportunity. Because, in my opinion, he did worse in this fight than what he did in the first one. In the first one, I, I have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure I scored it like something like 3 rounds to 2. It was a very close fight. Diego took over at the end of the fight. And made it more competitive. This fight, Volk just kind of won every round for me. Like I said, I think round 2 was a very close round. I think that is the round that I'm talking about. But it was just pure domination from Volkanovski start to finish. So now what is next for Volk? Who does he defend his belt against next? I think he leaked it by accident when they were talking to him. I think they are in works to book Emelo and Murphy, and the winner's supposed to get a title shot. I think Volk leaked that by accident. So I'm assuming we're going to get an announcement soon. I don't know if it is announced. I'll check over here quickly. If they did announce it, I just didn't know about it. No, it's not announced. So I think Volk leaked it by accident. I don't think he did it on purpose. But yeah, I think he did it. He leaked it by accident. So if that is going to be the next fight, and the winner's most probably going to get a title shot. So I'm assuming that is what's going to happen. But we'll see. Maybe the UFC will tank it because he leaked it and do something different. What do you do with Diego Lopez? Like I said, I think he should be fighting Yuri. I generally thought he should be on this card, but fighting Yuri Rodriguez. I think that's what should happen. I think Diego Lopez versus Yuri Rodriguez would be a fun fight. There's some beef there. Obviously, we know that there's some bad blood there because the first time these two fought, they were going out of the press conference. Just fucking give us something entertaining. Diego has to fight now. He's got fucking nothing left to do but just fight and hope someone dethrones Volk so that he can have a say at another title shot. But yeah, let's move on to the co-main events. Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint Denis. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of knew exactly. I had a feeling that it was going to be what I saw it was. Yeah, Benoit kind of just fucking dominated Dan Hooker. And yeah, unfortunately for Dan Hooker, it leaves him in a pretty bad spot in terms of that title contention because now Benoit is 6, he goes down to 7. It's I don't know. I still think you could let Dan Hooker go on and fight Paddy Pimblett. I think it's a confidence booster for Paddy, and Dan Hooker is gonna strike with Paddy, and if Paddy going on strike, it's a good test for Paddy for the chin. But let's talk about the winner of the fight. Was what do we do with him? Obviously, I've just said I think you could still do Paddy and Dan Hooker just to get Paddy back in the win column, and I think it's a good test for Paddy to learn to not have the chin hanging like that because that's ultimately why he lost that fight against Gaethje. But what do you do with Benoit Saint? If I'm looking over here at the rankings, obviously we've got Holloway over there, They're gonna be fighting soon. Armin is kind of just sitting over there. You got Gaethje who's gonna be fighting next. You could go Armin Zarukian versus Bernard Saint Denis. I don't know if they fought before. Let's check the fight history over here quickly. I don't believe he's fought. Uh, I don't believe they fought. And this was very, very early on. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Not in the UFC. Maybe they fought outside the UFC. But yeah, no. You could do that if Armin is still going to sit around. Like I said, I think I said it in a few videos before. I think I did it in my title video. I said that the only one who didn't have a booked fight was Gamrot, so maybe do Gamrot and Armin. But I mean, if Armin still hasn't booked, if they still haven't booked that fight, Dennis is gonna want to go up higher to get a better chance. Book him versus Armin. I think that could actually be a genuine good fight. I actually think that could be a very good test for Armin, because then we could also see where, in terms of grappling, where Saint Denis is, and we'll see how Armin can deal with his pressure, because his pressure is very good. I was quite impressed. I actually thought Danica would have a little bit of a chance when it came to the striking, but yeah, fucking hell, it was just pure domination from what I can remember. Lightweight bout, Rufi versus lightweight bout. I mean bout. That's the next fight. Rafael Fizet versus Mauricio Rufi, and apparently this got performance of the night bonus. They got a performance of the night bonus for this. But yeah, let's get into this. I'm not gonna lie, the way Rufi was like slowly doing it, fighting in round one, made me think that this could be a Rafael stealing this on decision, because he was landing, but he wasn't really putting pressure or anything. And then round two, you kind of saw like, okay, he's now like picking him a little bit, but he started off a little bit slow. And I think round one, you could say he was reading him a little bit, but then round two, it was kind of like he started picking him a little bit more, opening up a little bit more with the shots. This is a very good win for Rufi. It was a fucking good knockout. Disappointing for Rafael, because I would have liked to see him stay up there and to contend a little bit more. Obviously, this is like, I think it's his third loss in a row since coming back. I think he's a great fighter for the division. I hope the UFC don't cut him or anything, do anything stupid with him like that. I would love to see him kind of still get an opportunity to fight someone in the top 10. What do you do with Rufi? Oh, see, this is a difficult one, because now he's going to be ranked 9th. So then you've got that linger of, do you give him Gamrot? Because Gamrot is slightly higher than him. Gamrot also doesn't have a fight. I think you could probably do that, because the other guys in the top 6, obviously besides Dan Hooker, they've kind of already got fights booked, or they just had fights. I think with Rufi, you kind of want to slow build him. The only other thing I could think of is if you wait for the Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. If you're not going to do Paddy and Oliveira next, which is also a pretty good shout for Paddy's next fight, you could do Rufi versus Oliveira. That could be really fun to watch. What do you do with Rafael Fizet? Maybe you give him Gamrot. I'm pretty sure they've already fought though. Or you could set up something else with maybe you put him against another guy who's in the top 15. Maybe you give him a Michael Chandler. That could be a fun fight. Someone else called Michael. I actually think Rufi called Michael Chandler out. But he wants to fight at the White House. A lot of people want to fight at the White House. Rufi versus Michael Chandler at the White House. That could be fun. That could be fun. You get Chandler on there. Maybe you put him on the prelims. I think it gives Chandler more of an opportunity than what it does Rufy. I think Rufy probably just wants to fight on the Whiteout card. That's why he wants to do that. Um, but anyway, yeah, that's. Let me know in the comments down below. This one I am a little bit confused about, but what to do. But let's move on to the next one, and Tai Tuivasa versus Talison Jixera. I know I said Talison, and I even bet Talison because I had a feeling. By the way, I didn't say this in the beginning of the video. I usually bet the main cards that I predict. Obviously I was 5 for 5, so that's a pretty good week for me. But I was secretly praying for Tai to win. I thought he did quite well, man. I think he struggled a little bit in the early rounds. Round 3, I think he was just so tired, so he kept clinching. I generally think if he didn't do that and he had a little bit of energy, we would have seen a tie victory by knockout. Which I'm going to be honest with you, Talison is not very impressive to me. I need to see more from Talison. Like, Talison is actually, in that fight, I wanted to see him, like, a lot of improvement from Derek Lewis. Like I said, I think he needed to do the body kicks, the kicks to the body, because we saw how effective that was when Cyril Gane did it to Tai. He did it like once or twice, and you could see like Tai was like, fuck, okay, that I don't like that, and he just abandoned it. I don't know. Talison, I think, has got a very long way to go before he's in contention with the guys who are in the top 10. What do you do with him next? Obviously, he's the winner will go first. It's very difficult because him beating Tai, he's still 12th. I think you want to put him against someone that is going to test him a little bit. I actually think Tybura could be very good. That will really test him. That will kind of see. I think Tybura could bring out more of a, like, a kind of a dog in him. Like, make him have to fight aggressive. He's going to have to grapple. He's not going to be able to just sit there and fucking jab and pray that the guy in front of him gasses out. He's going to have to actually show if he has what it takes. So I think Tybura is a good test for him. Tybura is also coming off a loss, so he'll also want to get back in the win column. He's also a submission specialist. Well, I say submission specialist. He's got a few subs on him. But I think that could be a good test for Talison, because I'm not impressed in these 2 fights that he's done against Derek Lewis and Tai. So you can obviously argue that these guys are fucking knockout artists. He maybe didn't want to get rocked by them, or maybe felt a little bit of power. Obviously, Derek Lewis tricked him and he thought he got him, and then he got absolutely humbled. But yeah, I think there's a lot of improvement for Talison. Now let's move on to Tai Tuivasa. I think, considering Tai's last few fights that he's had that have been underwhelming, this I was quite impressed with how he dealt with it. And I would like to see Tai do a quick turnaround and fight again. The question is just, who do you put against him? Because if I'm looking at the top 15, like the guys that are in the top 15, I think Walter Walker is a terrible fucking fight to give him. I wouldn't do that personally. Then you've got like Anite Delgida. He's already booked against Spignav, Spigsvag, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. I think you don't give him anyone in the top 6. So you could do Shamlin, Ghazi, but this guy's also pretty fucking good. I know he just got knocked out by, like, in November by, what do you call it? Acosta. He's also got some subs on him, so maybe that's not a very good one. You could do Mick Parkin if you don't do the Derek Lewis fight with him. That could be a fun fight to make for him also. I don't know. Let me down in the comments down about Tai. I don't know. I feel like the guys that are too high ranked, obviously we've seen him lose to like Tybura and them. So, you also don't want to give him like too high up, because I mean, he just came off a loss. He doesn't really I don't want to say doesn't deserve it, but it's like it's a little bit like just say Tellison, you go fight that guy that's just breaking out of the top 10, and then you give Ty someone in the top 5. It's kind of like that's a little disrespectful. But yeah, let's move on to the last fight of the night that we'll talk about. It's Quillen Scoutkill versus Jamie Malarkin, a fucking round 1 sub. This kid, dude, I told you, I know I didn't talk much about Jamie in my prediction because I fucking knew this was gonna happen. Give this man a fucking top 15 opponent. And you know who you can give him if you're not gonna give Michael Chandler roofie at the White House? Give him Michael Chandler. That would be a fucking fun fight. Him versus Michael Chandler would be an absolute fun fight. That could be really, really fucking good if you guys want to do that one. Or if you want to fucking throw him against some of the new guys like this Manuel Torres, who just beat Dawson. A local. He's also a bit of a submission specialist, so maybe you don't want to do that. But yeah, I think Michael Chandler could be a fun fight. I think I would do that. Jamie Malarkin, fucking, I don't know what you do with him. Give him another fucking guy that's not in the top 15. Cause I'm not looking that far. You guys can let me know in the comments down below who to put against him. But anyway, what do I think? I can't remember what stack mean. I think I said it was a 7.5 overall in terms of the fights. I think it was like an 8. I think the fights in the first one, the first quarter of the year was better. But yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I'm still kind of pissed about Volk and Diego. I think they fucked Diego so hard by putting him against Volk because Volk literally called it. Volk said, "What the hell is he gonna do different?" He's not going to do anything different. There is nothing for him to do different. And if he does do something different, I can adjust. I'm very good at adjusting. And that's literally what fucking happened. Every time Diego had some sort of look like, oh, he's got him. Oh, he's got this is working for him. Volk just kept fucking moving and kept adjusting. So yeah, I'm still pissed about that. But yeah, that is going to be the aftermath of UFC 325, 326 is in March, I believe. It's Holloway versus Valera. So I'll see you guys in the next prediction for that one. Peace.